just love the sport. There was just something about it that whatever I put into it, I got out. The more I put into the skill work, the more I put into the fitness, I could see the benefits and I could see where it was taking me. It's like they'll be showing that they're confident, but in their eyes you can see that there's fear. And once you see that fear, like that's it, it's over, it's done. You know they're beatable. No matter how much they'll trash talk or how much they play up to the crowd, you know that you've seen that fear in their eyes.
Our next guest is an Olympic champion, not once, but twice. On top of that, a world champion, and remained undefeated in women's boxing until her retirement.
I think the hardest truth that no one prepares you for is how lonely it is on that journey. You are very much almost on an island of your own.
She was exposed to boxing at the age of 12, and she met a coach, and that coach believed in her. That belief that was instilled in her from that coach gave her the courage and the dedication and the discipline to go on and become the best female boxer of her generation. I can't wait to share the story of the incredible champion, Nicola Adams. Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of the podcast. We are over 300 episodes in now, and as we start 2025, we aim to bring you the best guests possible that can help inspire you to be a better version of yourself. Some of these guests have been through really tough times and their journeys are there to inspire you, where some other guests are just full of wisdom from years of study on their craft, beating on it day after day. I bring you this podcast because I want you to learn and understand what you can do to be the best version of yourself. I bring this podcast to you because I want you to come away from it every time with takeaways so that you can really benefit from what we teach. But by doing all of this, I do have a simple ask for you. Subscribing to the podcast channels, whether that be Spotify or anything else, or subscribing to YouTube really matters to us. The more subscribers we get, the better content we can bring to you. And I promise you, the whole team works day and night to do as much as they can to bring you the best quality content ever. So if you can subscribe, it would mean the world to me. If you can leave comments, then that would be even more. Now, I know some of you may not, but if you do have the time, I really would appreciate it in this new year as my small ask to you. I can't wait to share the story of the incredible champion, Nicola Adams. This episode is proudly sponsored by Allsop & Allsop Mortgage Brokers, the leaders in Dubai real estate. Whether you're a first-time buyer, a seasoned investor, or looking to refinance, Allsop & Allsop's dedicated mortgage team will expertly guide you every step of the way, ensuring a seamless and stress-free journey. Now, with over 16 years of experience, they offer exclusive access to the UAE's best rates, personalized advice, and tailored financing solutions that perfectly suit your needs, leaving you free to focus on finding your dream home. And that's what we want. Experience the difference with Allsop & Allsop, your trusted partner in securing the perfect mortgage solution. Nicola, thank you for coming to join us on the show today.
Thank you.
You're here in Dubai. Let's first of all get that bit out of the way. You've moved from the UK. I'm sorry that there's rain in Dubai today. Your perfect is here, but tell me about your transition. Why did you move to Dubai? What's been the reason behind that? And what do you think of it here?
Yeah, the reason for moving was just the weather, because the weather in the UK is terrible. But I think just the lifestyle, the life that you have here. I've got a little son as well, and the family things that you can do here. There's so much to do, and everything's really family orientated, and I really like that about Dubai. So that was one of the one of the biggest reasons for moving, and obviously the opportunity to expand the Nicola Adams brand.
So being as incredibly successful as you've been, let's just have a little bit of a roll call really and make sure that everybody knows, okay, the level of success you've had. So what was the first major award that you won? What was the medal that you first won? What was the first one that was really significant for you?
The first one was a silver medal in the European Championships. That was the moment of breaking point for me. It was a hard fight as well. There's a whole story for that. Don't know whether you want to get into it or not. Yeah.
Let's just go through the roles. So you've got a silver medal in the European Championships.
Yeah.
Okay, that was your first kind of like the feeling of I've made it, or I'm somebody now.
Yeah, definitely. That gave me the yes, I've finally done it. Like I've finally achieved something. I was the first girl to ever do that as well from the UK. So it was a huge achievement.
So then what happened after that? What was the next one?
The next one after that was a silver in the World Championships in China in 2008. That was another big one for me. First person to do it. And yeah, I was super happy. Super happy.
Go on then. Let's go through them.
Yeah. After that, I had another silver in the World Championships, and I actually ended up with 3 silvers in the World Championships, gold in the Olympics, then the Commonwealth Games gold as well. Got a gold medal in the World Championships, gold medal in the European Championships, and then went on to Rio to get the double gold medal in the Olympics.
And then you became a professional boxer.
Yeah.
And this huge amount of success that you've had must have come easy to you, yeah? You grew up in a boxing family. Everyone was boxers. That was just easy for you, yeah?
Oh, no. It was, oh man, completely the opposite. Being a female in a male-dominated environment as boxing is and was then. It's not so much now, which it's really nice to see that it's moved on, but it was really, really hard. Just the comments that I used to get, women belong in the kitchen. Why don't you play tennis? You're too pretty to box. There's so many other things you could do apart from boxing. And it was very difficult finding people that really supported you. And there was a lot of people that would say, yeah, we support you. And then behind your back, they're like, oh God, women are here again, can't wait for them to go home. It was really, really difficult.
I don't know who it was. I watched female boxing about 10 years ago, a boxing match. It wasn't a major fight. It was a small fight. And I struggled watching women punch each other in the face. It, for me, was really difficult to see. And that was my first experience. I struggled watching the men punch each other in the face, but then to watch women, it was really hard. And I don't know why, and this is purely a me thing, not anybody else. I don't know why, but it's just like, part of me said that women shouldn't be hurting each other like that. Now, obviously, you're going to have a different opinion on this because you've gone on to create your success. But that's how I felt at the time, and that was many years ago. But if we can put a timeline now, okay, so everyone can understand, how old are you and what year did you get into boxing?
I was 11 years old, just turning 12. I can't remember what year that was, but it'll have been in the 90s.
So you're 11 years old, turning 12 years old.
Yeah.
So how did it happen? You were a sporty kid anyway?
Yeah, I was a sporty kid anyway, but I didn't think I was ever going to be a boxer. My dad was a fan of boxing, so I always saw boxing on the TV, like the Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard's, and all the big guys. But I never thought I was going to be a boxer, and it wasn't until my mum couldn't get a babysitter one night for me and my brother, and she took me and my brother to an after-school boxing class. And I absolutely loved it. And just the second that I got into the gym and I was looking around and seeing all the guys running up and down, and some were in the ring sparring, some were doing pads, and some were punching the bags. And there was just something about it that just really gripped me. And I remember thinking about Muhammad Ali, because he was my favorite boxer before I started boxing, and just thinking wow, I bet this is what it was like for him when he first started. And when I'd only been in there maybe five or so minutes, and my coach called everybody to the ring, and he said, "I've got one rule in here: you're all boxers, and you all listen to me." And at the time, I didn't think anything of it. I was just coach being a coach. He's just telling everybody that he's in charge. But now, as I got older, I realized why he said it, because I was the only female in the gym. He didn't want me to feel any different to any of the other boxers there, because it was hard at first being in a boxing gym. It's all boys. You're the only girl there, and everybody's looking at you like, oh, like why is she here? She can't box. She's a girl. Girls don't fight. And so I really thank him for that. And everything I did from there, if I did exactly what the guys did, if they did 10 press-ups, I did 10 press-ups. If they went for a 3-mile run, I was never treated any different. And it really helped me to integrate more as well with the rest of the fighters and the rest of the boys. And it just helped me massively. And I think just having someone that really had my back, and really just saw that I just enjoyed the sport of boxing, which I really did. I just loved doing boxing and being in the gym and supporting everybody when they were going to the fights. And it just gave me, I don't even know what the feeling. It's like it was like a feel. It was like a feeling of empowerment as well. I think because I grew up with a broken home. My dad was really abusive, used to beat up my mum and stuff. And I guess being able to then go to a boxing gym and be able to protect myself, and then have that feeling of like, wow, I can protect everybody that I care about now as well. And it just gave me that, I guess, a lot of empowerment.
Did that first coach believe in you? Did you feel that he believed in you?
Yeah.
You look at these relationships that people have with coaches. It's almost like this man was my second father. This man was my, the driving force in my life. You take Adam Mike Tyson and Gus DiMaggio and all that. You go back in those years. He talks about this guy as being this father figure. Someone believed in him when nobody else did. In your home, was it, even though your mum and dad would fight, was there love, or were you in an environment that was kind of like pretty cold and pretty hostile?
There was love, but it was quite hostile until they broke up. So by the time I'd started boxing when I was 12, they'd already split. They split when I was 10.
Okay.
So I was able to put that behind me. But then I guess it is like a extended family. When you're in the gym, your coach, at the time, Steve and Alwyn Belcher were my coaches, and they just, you could confide in them, and they'd always be there to listen, and they always believed in you. There's just something about,
okay.
Yeah, there's just,
is it like a sense of belonging?
Yeah. It's like you have all this chaos that's going on around you at home, and then you step into the gym and you've got, even for a few hours, you've just got this peace and calm where you feel safe and happy. And it was the same for a lot of the other fighters that were there as well. They all had other problems and stuff at home, and you'd come into the gym and it was just where you could all get along and just do what you love doing, which was the boxing.
And when you then include school into that conversation, not many girl boxers, so, but were you picked on? Were you singled out? Were you one of the gang kind of thing when you were a kid at school? How did you fit in to that kind of environment? Because mum and dad have got divorced. There's been some challenges there. You're starting to get involved in a sport that, in fairness, most other kids, I'm sure in your class, girls in your class, wouldn't even dream of.
Yeah.
So where did you fit into that environment?
Yeah, school was a difficult one for me because I had ADHD and dyslexia as well. It was really, really challenging because when I came out of primary school, I was in set one for everything when I got to high school, and then all of a sudden I couldn't concentrate, couldn't focus. The work's really it's really long and boring, so it was just, I just couldn't do it. I needed the extra help, really. And at the time it just wasn't there. And the boxing gave me something that I could look forward to, because I was like, there's no way I'm ever gonna be good academically. It's just, I just can't do it. It's just not for me. And I remember thinking to myself, I was I can't remember what's is it like your stats or the first couple of exam things that you do when you first get into
take your options in your third year, don't you?
Yeah.
But before then, you'd have your 11 plus and all this kind of stuff. But.
Yeah, and we were doing like the tests and stuff, and I remember thinking to myself then, I was like, I'm just going to be a boxer and I'm going to be a gold medalist, and I don't care that it's not an Olympic sport. This is what I'm going to do. And I didn't care what anybody said or what anybody thought. There was girls at my school that were like, what, women boxing? But they never really said it to my face because, well, who's going to say that to a boxer, right? Yeah. But it was talking to me. But it was, yeah, and it was just one of them things. I was just like, I didn't care what anybody said. I didn't care what the teachers said. The teachers said that I was going to end up either in prison or on drugs or, just having a really bad life. And I just remember thinking to myself, I'll show you. One day I'll come back to the school with my gold medal and I'll be like, yeah, like, see that?
It's really interesting because it's like you, in terms of the academic stuff, you didn't fit in, you didn't belong, you couldn't do it. You felt almost like it was a strange environment because you couldn't progress in it. And yet you've got this other environment that's a few hours a day during the course of the week. Of an evening I'm gathering and early in the morning. And it's like, I fit in here like a glove.
Yeah.
It's just like, I belong here. I can do this. And it's interesting that we have these situations in our lives, and that can include crime and lots of other things. When kids get into gangs or that, I belong. I'm now in a gang. I didn't belong here. I mean, my home is not a safe place, but the gang, I belong in this gang. I'm wanted. I'm needed. Whether it's sport or anything else, finding something where we can feel that we're accepted, we're not judged, we can excel in some degree. It doesn't have to be a gold medal champion.
But just having
that. I can do this, and whatever that may be. And so you fitting into that, then subconsciously you just lean more and more into it all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
Home, school. Kind of like boxing's home, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you've got school over here. It's like,
Yeah. That was,
Yeah.
School was an absolute nightmare for me at school.
It's interesting though, because I'm just trying to think about it in my life, because when I went to school, secondary school at the beginning of the 80s, and, sports, great, no problem at all. But anything else, I couldn't concentrate.
Yeah.
The teachers,
it just wasn't.
Yeah, they'd write stuff on the blackboard, that's how old it is. Yeah, you have whiteboards, we have blackboards, and then chalk. And I'd be looking at it and I'd be like, what are they going on about?
Yeah.
And then, when you look at a math equation, on a long division or something, didn't get it. And then in 1 minute, he'd teach me and I'd get it. And I'm like, I've got it now. And then 5 minutes later, I haven't. So I left school with no qualifications.
Yeah.
And so it's like, where do you fit in? Where do you belong? Where's your kind of like your gang? Where's your army? Where's your safe space? And arguably for some people it's at home, and whether it's some people it's in computers, whatever it may be, or gaming as they call it nowadays. So I think about that. What I want to try and understand, because you are so incredibly successful, like less than 0.0001% of the population of this planet have ever come close to what you've achieved, let alone achieving it. That I think that it's very easy to be dismissive about it because you've done it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like, okay, I've done it. I'm on to the next one.
So then, are you grateful?
Oh yeah, definitely for everything that I've been able to accomplish and being able to achieve, like without a doubt.
When you meet someone who's just really, really amazing in your life, you meet them, and it doesn't have to be in a spot. It's just they've got a really amazing heart, or they're really kind, or they're an incredible mentor. They're just an amazing person.
Yeah. And
you look at them and you've no idea how good you are. I think a lot of the time, Johnny Wilkinson described it really well, when they won the World Cup in the rugby. He said it was really dark for him after he won the World Cup because now he'd done it.
Yeah, what do you do next?
Who am I now? We celebrate for a minute. You You win the Premier League in football and you've got 60 days or 40 days, whatever it is, before you're back to training again.
Yeah.
You know, you win a sales competition at work that ends on December the 31st and you're the top salesperson for the year, and then it's zero again.
Yeah.
The following day almost, or a few days later, you're back to square one. So I wanna like try and understand what it takes to win. Okay. And I want you to take me on the journey of being a winner, because I'm not sure that's dug into enough, because there's a lot of people out there that will be saying, yeah, she's got 2 Olympic gold medals, she's got these other medals in World Championships. That's all it must have been very tough for her.
Yeah.
Must have been very, wow, she's a champion. But what does it actually take?
It takes so much. It takes sacrifice, determination, confidence, courage, mindset. You have to have consistency. You have to have all these different things all rolled into one. You need to have the drive. You need to have this spark that just says, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get me to where I need to be, no matter what stands in my way, no matter what happens. I'd literally have to be falling apart before, I'd lose a competition. Say for example, there was, when I was boxing in in both major tournaments actually. When I was boxing in the 2012 Olympics, I've got these 2 scars on my hand here. I'd actually completely destroyed my knuckles in the World Championships, which was 12 weeks before, and couldn't throw anything like without being in pain. And I was literally having what's it called? The steroid injection into my hand, so I could literally throw a punch. But every time, even with the injections, every time I threw a punch, I could feel it. It was with all the adrenaline, I could feel it. But I had such a desire to win that you'd have had to have chopped my whole arm off before I'd have been like, oh, okay, I can't fight. And even then I'd have tried to fight with one arm, which I've done before too. I'll tell you about that story. But it's just having that. For me, I think my biggest drive was growing up with nothing. My mum was a single parent. We didn't have anything. She was on benefits. So we literally had nothing. I didn't even know what Nike or Adidas was, because we couldn't afford to buy any of that. And I think growing up in that environment, I wanted more. And I was like, I looked at all my friends that were around me, and they were just getting into trouble, doing all the bad stuff, drug dealing, stealing cars, and that just wasn't for me. And I just remember like asking them one day, like, don't you want to do something else, something better, something that just to get you away from this? Like, because I'd see their parents, and they're all in the pub, and then the next generation, they just go to the pub and they don't do anything other than that, and just stay on benefits. And that's just not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to provide for myself. I wanted to be able to provide for my family. I just wanted better for my life. And I was like, boxing is going to be my way out, and no matter what I have to do, I'm going to make this work.
You go to an after-school activity to go to the boxing club because your mum sends you down there because you can't get a babysitter. I'd argue that was an element of luck that applied to your life.
Yeah.
That one incident.
Or was it fate?
Fate. There you go, fate. But it wasn't a conscious decision by you.
Yeah.
It's a happenstance. It happened for you, and you were put into that environment. Once you were put into that environment, you then meet the coach, and the coach says, we're all the same in here. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you're like, okay, I belong. How long after that first day of going in that boxing club did you think to yourself, I'm not bad at this?
Well, it was, I'd been boxing for about a year, and my coach came up to me actually, and he said, you look really talented, and have you thought about taking it up as a competition? And I said, yeah, why not? I'll give it a go. And I think it was when I won that first fight, I was like, yeah, like this is it. I can do this. And I remember I'd been watching reruns of like Prince Nazim at the time because he was big at the time.
Yeah.
Ricky Hatton. I was really a big fan of switch hitting. So I was like saying to the coach before I got into the ring, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this move. I'm gonna do this move. And he's like, sit down, just rest. Like you need to save your energy. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I was like. And I literally couldn't wait. The first bell went and yeah, I was doing all the moves, doing the Ali shuffle. I absolutely loved it. Every second. And I think since then I was just like, I just love the sport. There was just something about it that I guess it was whatever I put into it, I got out. So the harder I worked at it, the better, the more I put into the skill work, the more I put into the fitness. I could see the benefits and I could see where it was taking me. And I'm very much a tactical fighter in the ring. I'm not a see the red mist and just go in there flailing. I'm more of a chess player. So I'm very, very defensive and very calculated about when I throw and the moves that I make.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I put that down to the last coach that I had, Alwyn Belcher. He was 84 years old at the time when he was coaching me, and it was the Misty Miyagi of boxing. He had so many different training techniques to get you to learn different things. There was one occasion he had me throwing a tennis ball at a curtain in a certain way to learn the overhand right because I just couldn't get it right. And I was stood there for about an hour, and he's like, and every now and again he'd come over and have a look, and he'd be like, yeah, it's almost there, keep going. And I'm like, I should be, everybody else is boxing. I'm like, I should be boxing. I'm throwing a tennis ball at a curtain. Like, what is going on? And he goes, all right, yeah, he comes back over, that'll do a beat. I've been there for 2 hours throwing a tennis ball at a curtain. And then I put the gloves on and literally threw the overhand right, and it was perfect. It was just, on the skill side of things, it was just unbelievable. And he just taught me everything, the footwork, how to move, how to stay relaxed, and just it just taught me.
So it's like a wax on, wax off type.
Yeah, literally.
What does it feel like the first time in anger someone punches you in the face?
Ow.
Did you, the first time it happened in anger and someone actually landed a punch right on your bonds, did it feel like you thought it was going to feel like, or did it hurt a lot more?
No, it hurt a lot, but
is that like a reason for someone to go, don't think I'm going to do boxing?
Yeah, do you know, you'll actually find a lot of people that they'll love the training, and as soon as they step in the ring and they do a spar, that first round, you'll know if they're going to be a fighter or not. And for me, I don't even know why I stuck it, because I hate getting hit. It hurts. But I think for me, it was the first time I got hit and it hurt. I got hit on the nose, my eyes watered, and I was like, right, I'm not going to get hit with that punch again. So it was whenever I did get hit by something and it did hurt, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to get hit by that again. That's why I never understood with some fighters that, throw caution to the wind and they take 5 punches just to land one. And I'm like, why? You didn't even have to take 5 punches. You could have boxed that whole round without getting hit. Like a good fight for me is when I can get in the ring and not get hit once in the whole fight. That's a good fight for me. It's a game of tag. It's a game of chess. It's about outmaneuvering and outthinking your opponent and just showing that level of skill. And I think I got to a point that I got so good at that. I think I'm trying to think how to break it down. My mind's going faster than I could get the words out.
You go for it.
Yeah. There's this thing that my coach always used to say to me, like, it's okay having the power to knock a house down, but what does it matter if you can't hit the house? And then it's a case of, so you have someone in front of you, and if if they come out for that first round and they're all full of energy and, you know, they're ready to go. But then how demoralizing is that when you can't hit that person, and then every time you throw a punch, you're getting hit. So then it makes you not even want it. You don't even want to throw a punch then. They're almost like a shell of themselves then, because they've lost that confidence. And I feel like boxing's 50-50, like 50% mental, 50% fitness. But if you break a boxer in the ring mentally, the game's already won. Half of the time I wasn't half as fit as some of the fighters in there, but mentally I was a lot stronger and a lot more skillful as well. I was more about breaking you down mentally than I was trying to outwork a person, because it breaks their opponent down faster. And once you know, I think it's like they have this look in their eyes, and once you see, I guess, the sadness, then you know that's it. Like it's over, it's done. You can do whatever you want then. It doesn't even matter.
So when you hear these people that talk about, you know, the game was won at the weigh-in, before they even got in the ring, the fight was won. That's because of that look that you're able to give, or you see in somebody else, that's almost like defeat in their eyes.
Yeah, definitely.
So have you had a situation where you've gone and you've done your weigh-in and you've gone and had your photo and you've looked in that person's eye for whatever it was, and you're looking at them and you know, I know I've got you.
Yeah.
You know, I know I'm going to beat you.
Yeah.
Not brash confidence, not, you know, I've won more fights than you or anything like that, but just you can just see in their eyes that they're just not up for it like you are.
Yeah. It's almost like it's like they'll be showing that they're confident, but in their eyes you can see that there's fear. And once you see that fear, like that's it. It's over. It's done. You know it's there then. You know they're beatable. No matter how much they'll trash talk or how much, you know, they play up to the crowd, you know that you've seen that fear in their eyes.
And do you make them aware that you've seen the fear, or do you not need to say anything? You just both know.
No, I let them know that. I let them know that that's there.
Yeah?
Yeah. I let them know that.
And how would you let them know? Would you just say to them, I can see it in your eyes? Or what kind of stuff?
I mean, there was all kinds of stuff I used to do. I used to joke around and do all kinds of stuff. There was one fighter,
for arguably, before you continue, you've got the biggest smile in boxing. So is it an assassin smile? I mean, you sat here and it's not, but it's just like, were people disarmed by that kind of like, because you just got this great smile, haven't you? You know, whenever you interview, you're like,
yeah. I mean, I guess it's that as well, but it was like, I guess getting into their headspace as well. Like they'd be getting, I don't know, whether it was one time one of the boxers that I was fighting was just sat there wrapping up the bandages, getting ready to fight me, and I went and sat right next to them, and they were like, they give me that look of what you do. You can't sit there and sit right next to me. I'm fighting you. I'm like, you all right? Yeah, I can. And I'm gonna. It was just little things like that. Even just when I get into the ring, and you have the, I guess almost like the death stare where you look at each other, and I wouldn't even think twice about just going up to my opponent, shadow boxing right in front of the face. You know, I want to see what the reaction is. I want to see, you know, what makes them tick, I guess. But then there was fighters, I guess the seasoned sort of champions that those things don't work with. Like my nemesis Ren Kankan, that I boxed in the 2012 Olympic finals. You know, stuff like that wouldn't work with her because she's very, very focused. She had the same mindset as me. So it was like there was a mutual kind of respect there. Like, I know those things won't work on you, and I know that you're mentally like resilient. There's nothing that will get in the way of your game plan. And that's the fighters that I like. That's the fights that I like. And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna be tested.
Was there a time when you had the fear in your eyes and somebody else saw it in you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely, yeah.
And you remember looking at that person thinking, shit,
Yeah.
this is a mountain.
Yeah. It was when I won the first silver medal in the European Championships, and it was the quarterfinals, and I'm boxing against a girl from Bulgaria, really, really tactical, really, really skillful. And I was like, I got into the ring, you know, bravado. I'm like, yeah, I can do this. And first bell goes, and I'm like, we're in the ring jabbing away, and I'm like, she's catching me with a jab, and I'm like, ooh, I couldn't find her timing. There was no tells on when she was going to throw a jab, and it was really bugging me, and I just couldn't get it. And by the end of the third round, I was 7 points down going into the last round, and my coach, Alwyn Belcher, the 84-year-old Mr. Miyagi, he was like, right, I lost all idea. I didn't know what to do. I tried everything. I tried rushing in. I tried working behind the jab. I tried boxing off my back foot. Like nothing was working. And I sat down in the corner, and I didn't know what to do. And he just said, right, this round, he says, she's tired. And I was thinking to myself, like, she didn't even look tired when I was in there. He was like, she's tired. It was like, when you go out in this round, he said, just stay on her chest and keep throwing punches and do not take a backwards step. He said, if anything, just keep going forward. And I was like, well, how do you want me to get inside? And he was like, I don't care how you fuck it. Oh, sorry about that. It was like about the language, but
It's all right.
yeah, he was like, I don't care how you get inside. I want you to get inside, put your head on her chest, and just stay there. And so I was like, shit, never heard him swear before. I fell away and I got up off the chair, and I did what he said. And I just went straight in, just kept on throwing punches, staggered her. She had got a standing 8 count from the referee, went straight back in again, another standing 8 count, went back in again, and then the referee just stopped the fight, and I managed to pull back the 7 points. I'd have won by 1 point if I hadn't have won by knockout. I was just, that was the first time that I had that, ooh, I don't know what to do, and I don't know how I'm going to get out of this situation. But then I guess it's that, having that ability to be able to take in advice of what to do, and then just go for it and do it.
So it's kind of like at this heightened point of adrenaline, stress, exacerbation almost, you still had the ability to stop, focus, and listen to someone who you knew was giving you good advice, and then take that advice and do something with it. You know, that's quite a skill, because people struggle to do that without being punched in the face.
Yeah.
But they do. A lot of people in business, you know, if they're under stress in some form of work or life that they've got, that to like, whoa, stop for a second here. I know you're not getting where you need to go. Let's just think about this for a second. I'm going to give you some advice. Please take this and go deploy that. It's so difficult for many people to behave in that way. But you, in a situation where you're literally, okay, having punches thrown at you,
Yeah.
can then, and can't find a way to win or to get somewhere, can stop and pay attention to someone here, take that advice, process that advice, even though you're thinking something else, and then act out on that. That's a really unique skill. You don't even think about it because it's just what you did, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
But for a lot of people, that's a tough one to deal with. It's kind of like, I don't know, I do a lot, from time to time, I do skydiving and firewalking and stuff like that. Well, firewalking arguably is probably as frightening as going into a ring and boxing, you know, walking on fire. You don't think much when you're walking across hot coals. If someone said, hold on a minute, you know, turn left, then turn right, your brain wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't allow you to do that. So that, and like skydiving, jump out of a, whoa, you know, hold on a minute, we haven't clipped you on properly, or whatever it may be. I look at that and I because as I'm listening to your story, I'm trying to find what it is about your mentality that is enabling you to turn into this global icon and superstar of a sport. And What are the ingredients in there that make that possible?
Yeah.
And I'll recap and I'll summarize here what I've learned so far. You've got an environment at home that wasn't welcoming because of the battles that were going on. Mum and dad that got divorced, you've lived on benefits, so things have been difficult financially in the family. Mum loved you to bits, but it was challenging. You've then found an environment where, well, first of all, you're then thrust into an environment which is school, where you don't fit in, you don't get it, it doesn't work. So you've got home and it doesn't really work, and then you've got school and it doesn't really work either. And then you put into this environment by chance or fate or whatever, where for some reason, and a really unusual reason, because you're a 12-year-old girl, you've gone into that space and you've gone, this is all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm the only girl. He's told me we're going to be equal. Okay, I feel cool about that. I'm now going to learn to do something that I've never learned before, but boys usually do. How did the boys treat you?
Did
they tease you?
Yeah. So it was like,
was it warm or was it?
There was the odd one that it wasn't like fun and games.
So the odd one was a dick.
Yeah. But then that was always put to bed in sparring. Once you get the gloves on, you get in the ring.
And so when you got in the ring with those ones that were less nice to you, you just had a bit more of a point to prove to them.
Yeah, definitely.
And you essentially were schooled on the sport and the skill of boxing, and you took those lessons really seriously.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how when people talk a lot about life, about how you become successful, and they say what you should do is you should follow your passions, because if you enjoy doing what you do every day, then you can go on and make a great career out of it. And I'm like, well, let's say I like doing charcoal drawings. How am I going to make a fortune out of that? Am I going to be really successful? Maybe, maybe not. Likely it is probably not very successful, as an example. So is it not that? Is it find something that you can do well and really lean into it? And sometimes there are things that without thinking, we can naturally do. So when you're a kid at school, the playground's a great example of this, you know. We've all grown up, the kids in the neighbourhood, you're on the street, it's hard, it's at lunchtime at school, we'll go and have a dinner and we go and play outside, and there's cricket going on, or there's a bit of football going on, there's some goalposts and some jumpers for goals, and some of the kids are better at football.
Yeah.
They just are.
Yeah.
You know, you do, in the summer, you do the athletics. Some kids can just leg it down the 100 metres, can't they?
Yeah, without it.
They just got in a flash, and you're like, I'm giving it my balls out here. You know, the 400 metres was always on for me. It was just like, how does anyone make round the 400 metres? Because ours was on a field. The field was on a bit of a slow. So the last 100 metres, you'd come up the hill, you'd come in, and you'd lose all of your energy. But there were some of them that would just power around that.
Yeah, like it was nothing.
Yeah. Or someone that could pick up the discus at school and just chuck it.
Yeah.
And you'd be sitting there going, oh, I'll get it out of my hands. They hadn't had any formal training.
Yeah.
They just had more ability, that maybe they were made like that. You know, it's like some people are made stockier, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, and stronger, and some people are made, with some guys have got bigger thighs than others, and just naturally. So I look at you and I'm really interested to find out, and maybe you don't know the answer to this, but how boxing, this initial stage of boxing where you've gone, I like this. Did you like putting the gloves on? Did you like punching a bag? Did you, I know you liked them all, but I want to know what you really liked at first. So in your first few weeks, months of being in there, was it the bang in the bag? Was it learning how to skip? Was it standing in that ring and feeling something in that ring? What was it that you, because with all of these things, there's things you love more than other things, yeah?
It was, for me, it was hitting the pads with the coach.
So he's got the pads up.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's moving his hands around. So for everyone that's listening to this right now, just imagine, okay, Nicky's giving me with the gloves on and I've got some pads in my hand. And he's telling you 1, 1, 2, 2, whatever it may be. You're punching in different combinations.
Yeah.
You really liked that.
Yeah.
Why?
I think it was just the interaction with the coach as well. And then you always got tips on like different things like you might be doing wrong that they can see that you can't see. And I've always been a really good listener. And I've always been told actually I'm really easy to coach. I guess because I listen. But I think it's that interaction, I think, and then it's the smile that you get from your coach when you do something right. It's that little smile. So I had, when I turned professional and I was training in San Francisco, and my strength and conditioning coach was a guy called Remy, real old school, about the same age as my coach is now, was then. So he's like in his 80s, and this all he does is just shout at you the whole time. Nikki, hurry up. Nikki, you're too slow. Nikki, what's that? Nikki, lift heavier. And then you just, one day you do something and he just smiles, this achievement. And he never says like, oh, you did really good today. He just gives you a smile or a nod. And that's the satisfaction that you get from just seeing that yes is like, gives you so much, I get satisfaction just having that smile. And I think it's that connection that, well, I guess you wanting to do good. I wanted to do good. And I guess you never know if you're doing good until your coach, I guess, tells you how well you are doing.
And you wanted to make him proud.
Yeah.
I have some children from Bangladesh that I support that are over here. And Maria, my friend who takes care of them all, I said to her one day, why did the girls, and I've been looking after them now for many years, and I said to her, why did the girls like me? What is it about me they like? And she went and asked them, and she came back and sat me down and she said, because you make them feel seen and heard.
Yeah.
And it really resonated with me because I sat there thinking, wow, it's like you give them time, you listen to them, you pay attention to them, you're interested in them, and it makes them feel good about being around you.
Yeah, yeah.
And as you said that, I'm just thinking about this relationship. So you've got this guy who you're punching on the pads with, and he's saying well done when you do well.
Yeah.
So you respond really well to encouragement.
Mm.
When someone believes in you, and someone's showing you they believe in you, that's just making you want to do it even more.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really interesting because if you take that then and you take that into school, a kid in school, and you've got a teacher, because we all remember a teacher that we had that we liked, don't we? There were loads we didn't, but we've all got one teacher. So they're one. I bet you had one as well. I could tell you mine right now. And you have that one teacher, and it's just like, I'm seen and heard.
Yeah.
They encourage.
That's what it is.
They told me well done.
Mm.
And that guy in that boxing gym has done that more than anyone for you at that stage in your life.
Yeah.
So it became an addiction to that feeling. Interesting. Does that am I on the right page?
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, damn. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
And I love that. I love that someone has the power to be able to ignite that within us.
Mm.
You know, where does that, I don't want to let you down type of thing. I want to make sure I do my best for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the reward I get is sometimes the wink.
Just the
wink or the nod.
just the smile is just, like that is enough.
Nice.
It's like, it's like, forget about the gold medal if your coach is smiling at the end.
Yeah.
That's what you did it for.
I don't care if you win. I just want you to try your best.
Yeah.
Just give me your best. And if someone says you've done your best, I'm really proud of you. And they look you in the eye and they're sincere and they mean it.
Mm.
It can move mountains, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it really can.
It did for you.
Yeah.
Okay, got some questions I want to ask you, okay?
Sweet.
What is the hardest truth about success that no one prepares you for?
Oh. I think the hardest truth that no one prepares you for is how lonely it is on that journey. You are very much almost on an island of your own. Once you get even before I got the gold medal, but I think more even after I got the first gold medal, it's very lonely. Everybody is now wants something from you. So the trust is not there anymore with people even that you once knew. You grow very, very far apart from people, even though that you yourself, you're the same person. It's like everybody else sees you as something else, almost like a product, and it starts to become very lonely. And then
is that because you can't trust people?
Yeah. The trust is a really, really big thing, and just not being able to have that, I guess. And you only have that with a select group of people, and so it becomes really lonely. And then even on the team, because there was other girls that wanted to, they wanted to go to the Olympics as well and fight and win a gold medal like I did. There's no real friendship then either. So I was very, very isolated and it just, even though there was people around me, it just felt like I was on a journey that nobody else could understand, which was quite strange, quite draining at times as well, because then you've got the pressure of always winning, because I was everywhere I went, I was winning gold. So there's the pressure of everybody expects me to perform at my best all the time, and I couldn't really go out clubbing, go out to eat. Most of the time you're just too tired to even do that. So that's normally not until after the competition's done. You don't really see anybody, like any family or friends, because you're always training all the time. Like, especially if there's a big camp and they have a country coming over, you're away from home for like 3 weeks solid. And then you're living in camp most of the time anyway. So you're there Monday to Friday every week. When you do go home on the weekend, you're just tired and then you've got to do it all again on the Monday. So I think I don't think people understand how lonely it is, the journey to get to the top and to stay there.
And then the people wanting something from you as well.
Yeah,
you're becoming a product. Yeah, just to be successful in business, you need to train. To be successful in your sport, you need to train. How many hours a day did you spend training? Leading up to the Olympics, let's say the 3 months lead up to the Olympics, how many hours a day? 2 hours, 6 hours? What would it be? Give me a rough idea.
I'd say probably at least 9 hours.
And 8, 9 hours a day for 3 months. Let's say 3 months up to the Olympics. How many fights in the first Olympics did you have?
I had 4.
4 fights. So how long did each fight last?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10 minutes? No, wait a minute, 2, 4, 8 minutes. Well, yeah, about 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
So 5 2-minute rounds?
4 2-minute rounds.
4 2 minutes. There's 8 minutes, bits in the middle. Okay,
right.
So the actual fighting, 8 minutes times 4 is 32 minutes.
Yeah.
And you were training how many hours a day, did you say? 8 hours a day?
Yeah.
8 hours a day for 3 months up to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 8...
But just for that little time in the ring.
so for 32 minutes, you train for over 700 hours, 32 minutes.
Yeah. That's crazy when you say it like that. It's like that. It's a lot of hours.
Yeah. So if you're training every day and you're doing this for years, you put it's like with the guys that run 100 meters. How much training they put in for 9 seconds?
Yeah.
And I think about that in business is you can never train too much. Okay, because to be your very best, there's always something to learn.
Yeah.
You never know everything.
And that's the thing as well. I've always been. That's one thing that I learned from my coach as well, is always being able to adapt and be able to change and be able to learn. You've always got to be able to keep learning and evolving, otherwise you stay in the same place. And if you stay in the same place, people will catch you up. So I'm always, I guess, thinking of new ways to evolve, like myself, my being, and just keep on learning. I think, and I guess that's something you have to do with business as well. You have to keep one step ahead of the competition, and you've got to keep thinking of new ideas, thinking of new ways to evolve.
the metaphor of the punch in the face is rejection in business. So you get the punch in the face and you said, ow, that hurts.
Yeah.
We don't, well, some people get a punch in the face, but most people don't. But it's like, it's the punch in the stomach that people get from the rejection they face from people saying no to them. And it's that how much rejection can you take, and keep moving forward. How many times can you get punched in the face and keep moving forward? That's how winning is done, as Rocky famously says.
Yeah.
But it's like in business, it's how much rejection can you take? And the truth is, in business, you get 90% more rejection than you will ever get acceptance. You only win a few times, but it's can you keep taking that? Psychologically, can you keep coping with that? And it's like great champions will go and lose a fight, but they'll get up and they'll fight again, and they'll go on to win because they'll take the lessons from it and they'll keep moving forward. And I think that understanding your mentality around boxing is that real kind of gladiatorial example of what it's like in business. It's just like, if I can getting punched in the face and I can keep moving forward, then what's going to stop me?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's kind of like Peter Kay talks about it brilliantly where he talks about biscuits. I don't know if you've ever heard Peter Kay talk about biscuits.
No.
So he says, Peter Kay is the king. He goes, there's some biscuits out there that are rubbish. Okay, he said you put a rich tea biscuit in a cup of tea and within seconds it's gone. You dunk the biscuits dissolve. You're like, Mum, get me a spoon for my cup of tea. The biscuits dissolved. And then you put other biscuits in and they dissolve quickly. He said, but hobnobs.
Yeah.
He said they're like the commandos of biscuits. You dunk a hobnob and it'll go, dunk me again. Dunk me again. You can keep dunking a hobnob and it's not going to fall apart. It's like this solid biscuit. And I think that it's almost like when I think about that and it's kind of like, you can keep coming at me. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop moving forward. So keep coming. And I think if we could take that into business, I'm going to get rejected. I'm going to get punched in the face or kicked in the stomach, where it may be. But I'm going to keep moving forward.
And I think that's the thing as well. When I did lose a fight, so 10 weeks before the Olympics, I lost in the World Championships in the qualifiers. I lost in the finals to the girl that I went on to beat in the finals of the Olympic Games. And it was because literally as soon as and I do this whenever I lose, I'm like straight back in the gym. We go through the tape and I work on where I went wrong so that I can improve. And like my good things are already good, so I don't need to work on those as much. But I always work on my flaws and where needs improvement so that the next time when I get in the ring, those things aren't there anymore. And you're always boxing my past self and not the person that I am now when I stand in front of you. And I always made sure that I did that. Even on fights that I won, I'd be like, right, let's go back through the video. What did I do wrong there? What was the thing that could be picked up on next time?
Yeah, there's such great resilience in you and listening. It's kind of like, I still want to learn.
Yeah.
I still want to learn. It's like, but that humbleness about, it doesn't matter how successful you've been, and you truly are one of the minute numbers of people that exist on this planet that have had the success you've had, but you still want to learn.
Yeah.
I think sometimes when you live it like you do, I don't think sometimes you acknowledge it because it's your life.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
But for me, this is astonishing. All right. What was going through your mind when you walked out into the ring in the Olympics final in 2012?
I was just thinking about my tactics, and I was thinking about what my coach had said to me to, as serious as it is and you want to win, just have fun. And I just had that in my mind, and I just came out smiling and waving to the crowd and just enjoying the moment, because he said to me, like, this is a moment that you'll never have again. You'll never experience that moment going out to that same crowd in that same way ever again. So you need to enjoy it and take it all in. And that's what I did. I went out and I had my tactics in the back of my mind, and I just enjoyed every single minute of it. And even through the fight, when you could hear the crowd, I mean, the crowd was that loud. They said it was the same amount of noise as a jumbo jet taking off. It was that loud, like the noise just vibrated through your body. It was insane. It was one of the most amazing things that I've ever done. And I was just focused on my tactics, what I needed to do, and just remembering to have fun. I had a mantra that I used to say to myself, be fast, be first, and look good. And that's what I went out and did.
I love that. Be fast, be first, and look good. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, are people born winners? Are there people that are born winners, or is all of this about some stuff you've got to learn?
I think there is some stuff that you could teach someone to win. I feel like there is things that you could teach to win. But then I also feel like there's people that do just have it. They just have that it factor that just, like how you were saying that some people are just naturally good with football or whatever, whatever sport they do, they just have that knack. I mean, some people are just born with that knack, but then I feel like it can be taught as well, because my coach, Mr. Miyagi, he had a fighter that came to him, and he'd had 35 fights and lost 30, won 5, and everybody else, they didn't give him the time of day. Every other coach was like, why are you wasting your time on him? He's not going to win anything. He's had 35 fights now and he's lost 30. He's only won 5 fights. And literally took him, and he had him for 5 months, taught him the skills, give him that encouragement. And he went on the first season that he was with my coach, won the national championships, and he never looked back. And it's just, so I do believe it can be coached. I think you need probably the right type of person doing the coaching. So, but I definitely believe it can be done.
Interesting. What's the biggest sacrifice you've had to make on your journey that still weighs on your mind today?
Ooh, that's a good question. I've never been asked that before. I'd say probably, I guess the things that you miss, like the family stuff, the get-togethers, stuff with my friends, like when they have babies or kids and they have weddings, and you miss all that stuff on your journey because you're like, I'm so focused on my journey, I can't afford to take my eye off the ball. And it's almost like there was times when I almost like, say for example, one of my best friends, she had a baby boy, and it was like literally I blinked and there were 3. And I was like, when did they get to 3? Like, and I haven't seen any of that. So I think it's the little moments that you miss.
And then being reminded of them, I guess.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah.
you? But you're making up for it now.
Yeah.
Okay. When you stopped boxing, did you feel like you'd lost part of your identity?
See, I didn't suffer with that. I know a lot of athletes do, but I think it's because I had other things that I wanted to do, and I knew that was always it was just one part of me. Boxing is just one part of who I am. I feel like for me, there's so much more that I want to do and achieve and try, that I was sad about not boxing again. But I was more happy about what I was going to do now that boxing's not there taking up so much of my time. And I was able to then focus on my acting career. I was like, great, this is perfect. I can now do my acting career, because boxing takes up so much time. You don't have time to do anything whatsoever. And now that was out of the way, I actually could do things I actually really wanted to do and really, really enjoy doing.
Learning to be an actress or actor, whatever you want to call it nowadays, is that a lot easier than learning to be a boxer?
It's about the same. It's just hard in a in a different way. I'm always learning with that all the time, which I absolutely love. But I think the first part of my acting career, when I first started, the hard part was getting rid of my poker face. Because in boxing, you very much, you don't show any emotion. You get hit, there's, blank canvas, there's nothing going on. To then go into acting, and then they're like, okay, right, we want to see how you're being affected by this character. Where's the pain? And I'm like, I'm feeling pain. They're like, you're not showing any pain. Like, yeah, like, like it's so it was very much trying to getting rid of that, and then
that's two complete opposites.
Completely.
Delivering everything through your facial expressions and your body language from someone that wasn't at all.
Yeah.
Cool. You've got the biggest contrast of all, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, those first acting lessons you have and those classes, were they uncomfortable then?
Yeah, it was really difficult. And then as I started to get better, I could dig deeper. And then with that opened up a whole new world of other stuff. Because when I was going through my career and my upbringing, I didn't realize how much trauma I was carrying as well. And when you act, you feel everything. Everything is real to the character. So if I don't know, say I'm playing a character that's angry or upset, you're feeling those feelings. And that was, I guess, having suppressed everything that I'd suppressed through my life, my career, and just, right, okay, that stays down there. I've got to focus on this. I never actually dealt with any of the feelings and emotions that I had in there. So, starting acting just literally opened up Pandora's box. And I was like, oh, crap, I've got all these feelings and emotions and I don't know what's going on, and I can't turn them off. And so then that led me to then going to see a therapist and working through my trauma. And then once I had my son Taylor, I started to then realize things that my parts of my upbringing, I would never do that to my own son. Like there was things that I just thought, once you have a child, you're like, I could never shout at my kid to the point where they'd cry. I could never hit my child to I could never do any of those things. And so then there was the stirred up feelings from that and working on those bits of trauma, because then I didn't want to continue the cycle of trauma. Like I wanted the trauma to stop with me. And so he has, the best upbringing that he could possibly have from a parent that's, I guess, not suffering from past trauma, because I didn't even realize at the time that I was, until Pandora's box was opened up.
That's a podcast on its own.
Yeah, literally. We need a number 2.
We get another one done another side. What does courage mean to you?
Courage means to me, I guess, being able to stand up for something or someone or do something that, even though everybody else says it can't be done, or they're afraid to do it, or they're scared of the consequences of you doing it, you do it anyway because it's the right thing to do. I mean, that for me is courage, being able to do that even though everybody else is afraid to do it and say something.
Imagine if you could buy a tablet in Boots.
Yeah, that's just...
Is it courage? Imagine what would make people, the strength it would give people to do. Because courage is one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think courage often comes from that, never again.
Yeah.
Am I ever going to let this happen to me? It's the woman that's been cheated on once, that forgives the husband, that's cheated on twice, that then draws that line and says never.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. It doesn't matter if he turned up with $1 million in his car, 1 million red roses, or, the best therapist in the world to help him. Okay. Doesn't matter. It's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That takes a lot of courage for someone to do, and then to move forward from there, huge amount of courage. And when I think about courage, I think you can't teach it.
No, you can't.
Okay.
You can't.
Courage comes from, and as you've unlocked your trauma, courage comes from you having something in front of you that you didn't necessarily say out loud, and you went, no more.
Yeah.
No more. And that person, then this is all coming together for me, that person that believed in you in that boxing ring, okay, started to make you feel that you belonged. Okay, I'm not facing this anymore. And that was your outlet. That gave, and I think that's a big part of why you went on to be successful. And I think if it wasn't boxing, it would have been someone else.
Yeah, I do.
It would have been, whether it was cricket or tennis or whatever it may be, there would have been something where someone ignited something in you when you said never again, and all of your energy went into it and all of your heart went into it, and then getting some encouragement around it, making you feel like you belonged, you just went whoosh and took off, because all of those ingredients came together from someone. What an amazing human being he was.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
Let's say his name again.
That's awesome. Steve Franks.
Steve Franks.
Yeah.
He needs to listen to this, because what an incredible human being, because he wouldn't have done it just for you. He would have done it for others. But look at what happened to you on the back of it. Okay. Something was turned on inside of you. Okay. You were given love. Okay. And it was turned on, and someone gave you some confidence and belief in yourself. And you just wanted to make that person proud. Okay. By keep doing it, keep doing it. Okay. And this thing was going on backwards and forwards between the both of you. And it was just allowing this human being, what an incredible man, to shine, and you to become legendary in your world. Wow.
I've never had it put like that.
Does it make sense?
So yeah, it's like, yeah.
What a man. What a man. I mean, and he didn't even know he did it, I bet.
Nah.
He didn't even know.
He was just being him, because he was just that type of person.
And there are people in the world like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're so precious.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. They're just so precious because of the difference they can make to other people's lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. For anyone that feels that the odds are stacked against them, the things are tough, what kind of advice would you give to people that are in that type of position?
I'd say never give up on your dream, no matter what anybody says. Your dream is precious to you, and you should never let anybody break that spirit. Because there was so many times that I was told that I couldn't be a boxer, and I couldn't do this, and I couldn't do that. Even on Strictly Come Dancing, they said a few times, don't you want to just dance with a man? And I said, no, this is the only way I'm doing the show, and it's just, I guess, just staying true to what you believe in, but just believing in yourself. That would be my thing, trying to believe in yourself above anything else.
Can we save that question and use that last? Okay, and insert the next bit in. I want to talk a little bit about your acting career before we finish.
Yeah.
Okay. So, boxer, television celebrity, out there sharing your knowledge and wisdom in the sports community. You go on to Strictly Come Dancing. How did that phone call happen?
Yeah, that was a funny one, actually. My agent phoned me up. I'd never actually seen this show before.
You hadn't seen Strictly Come Dancing?
No, I never watched it. I never watched it. And he phones me up and he was like, "Oh, you should do this show." It was the COVID year. He was like, "Oh, you should do this show." He said, "You'll be great on it. It's just a bit of dancing." I was like, "All right, how hard can it be, right? It's just a bit of dancing." He was like, "Just watch it on Saturday night." And by this time, I'd already signed the contract and everything. And I'm like, so I put it on. I turned it on, got my cup of tea, and then I was like, geez, this is like proper dancing. They're like throwing each other in the air. People are coming down from the ceiling. I was like, I run him up straight away. I was like, it's proper dancing. It's not just like doing the foxtrot. I didn't even know what a foxtrot was until I went on the show, and just, yeah. So from from that day forward, once I saw that first episode, I was like, right, I need to work hard at this because I don't want to look bad when I'm in there. And literally, I was training with Katia from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m, just trying to get the routine and the steps right, and just getting everything done. But it was great, great experience.
Were you competitive?
Yeah, as ever.
Is everyone?
Yeah.
So it was one of those things, but you're not in total control of the outcome like in boxing, are you?
No, it's all down to the judges.
Yeah, but in boxing, you're fighting against somebody else. In the dancing, there's two of you.
Yeah.
So if somebody else, makes a slip up. So great experience. Was that your first kind of like non-boxing celebrity type show that you'd done?
Yeah. That was the first big one. Yeah.
What does it mean when someone gets to go on the Strictly Come Dancing show? How does it elevate you from a publicity point of view? Does it build your profile in areas that people wouldn't necessarily know you from? Yeah,
definitely. I think a lot of people knew me as a fighter before, but then after Strictly, people that come up to me now, they didn't even know that I was a boxer. They're just like, "Oh, you were on Strictly Come Dancing. You were amazing." I'm like, "Damn!" Like, I didn't even because I had no clue when I was doing the show. Like, I didn't know how big it actually was. I just thought it was just a
TV show.
Yeah, a little TV show. I didn't realize how much the nation actually followed and watched it. So yeah, it really does open up doors.
Amazing. Okay, and now you're going into the world of acting. So you spoke earlier about having acting lessons and what that's been like, and landing roles. Let's talk about that. So, have you starred in anything yet, or acted in any movies or plays? Which direction are you heading in?
So I'm about to be in a Hollywood movie called The Gun on 2nd Street. We start filming. I think it's around back end of April time. So I'm super excited about that. I honestly just can't wait. It's taken a good 5 years to land this big role, so I'm really excited about it.
And what's your character play? What kind of character are you?
Am I allowed to say what? No, okay. I can't say what.
A little bit. Is it a serious role or a comedy role?
Yeah, serious role.
Is it kind of like lean into the fact that you're a rough and tough champion boxer? Is it that kind of like adventure and suspense and stuff like that? Action, that's the word I'm looking for.
Oh no, it's not an action movie. It's more drama.
More drama.
Yeah.
So that again, you would naturally think, the ex-boxer into an action role, that would be normal, wouldn't it? But no, not you. No, you. Just make it a little bit more difficult for yourself. Drama, please. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. And plans for more stuff on the horizon?
Yeah. Definitely.
You are literally a masterclass in getting it done, aren't you? I mean, look at this. You've gone from nothing as a kid, gone into boxing, become a global superstar in the sport that you're in. You've gone on, you've been in Strictly, so you got a glitter ball, and now you've landed a role in a Hollywood movie.
I think the acting world that's more brutal, I feel, because when you get a no from when you send in self-tapes, they don't say anything. So they don't say that you haven't got the part.
They just ignore you.
Yeah, they just ignore you, like, oh well, on to the next one. Like, it's brutal.
Have you been to auditions?
Yeah.
What's it like going to auditions?
I prefer the auditions when you get to meet the director and be in person.
Do you take it? Does it? Yeah, I've got.
No, I actually see that as more of a hindrance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I don't want people to see me as the boxer when I go in there. I want them to see me as an actor.
Okay.
So I always try and put the boxing to the back.
Yeah, I get it. There'd be part of me that would keep them in, just in case. Okay, last question for you before we finish. I know you're here in Dubai, and I really appreciate you coming to spend time talking to us today. If you could make a difference to people here in Dubai, who do you want to talk to? Who do you want to connect with? What is it that you want to try and help people with here?
Ooh, I guess I want to be able to one, inspire the next generation so that the up and comers know that they can achieve whatever they want to achieve. They just have to believe in themselves. And I guess, and two would be to be able to, for the more accomplished person, to be able to show them that there is still room for learning and growth. And even though you might be at the top of your game, there's still so much more that you can achieve.
Nicola Adams, I can't thank you enough for making the time to come and join us today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.